Rise and Grind, the bottles that I'll always have on hand. Let's get into the list. Here at Rise and Grind, we equip you, sharing with you whiskeys, cigars, grooming, and wealth building tips. Now, we recently released a video talking about our most allocated whiskeys. We talked about Willet Purple Top and Blantons straight from the barrel. We talked about these exotic whiskeys, but there are some whiskeys that we just keep on the bar. These are staples, must-haves. And so we want to share with you some of these whiskeys, the whiskeys that I'll always have on hand. The first whiskey that we gotta present of whiskeys that I'll always have on hand, we've got Old Forester 100, the rye. Now, I tend to drink my whiskey neat, but whenever I need an old fashioned, whenever I need a hot toddy, whenever I need a Manhattan, whenever I need any kind of cocktail, I'm reaching for Old Forester. Sometimes I'll reach for Wild Turkey 101, but mainly I'm reaching for Old Forester 100, the rye. This has that special blend of black pepper with sweetness. This has a lot of malted barley in this. And so that's one of the reasons why I like this so much. It's that perfect blend. It's a perfect mixer. Now, I don't drink this neat. I only use this for mixing for about $20 to $25. This is something that I'll always have on hand. My mixer, Old Forester Rye 100. And the next whiskey that we have of whiskeys that I'll always have on hand, we got Early Times Bottle and Bond. This is my midweek pour. This is not a mixer for me. A liter, quantity, quality, and it simply tastes good. Sweetness, some vanilla, some pepper. This is just something I'm always gonna have on hand. I got about 3 of these, 3 liters of Early Times. That's how much it is essential for me. I'll always have a liter of this on hand. Quality, quantity, Early Times Bottle and Bond. We hope that we are helping you with this video by sharing with you some of the essentials that I gotta have for my home bar and just at home. If we're helping you, then help us. Join this community. Let us know what are some of your essentials. Join this community of like-minded men and women who simply share our journey, we share our passions, we share our tips, our stories. And so join by hitting subscribe. Share, hit a like if you're enjoying this. A whiskey that I just gotta have on hand. I got about 5 of these going all the way back to 2019, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Chocolate, rye, sugar, molasses, high proof, blended well, and now the latest one is at 13 years. This is just a must. I see it, I buy it, I gotta have these on hand. Notes, noses, all that stuff I can talk about. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. This is an absolute must have at all times. I gotta have this on my shelf. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. And the next whiskey that I gotta have on my bar at all times, we gotta go with Blantons. Now, I know for a lot of people, this is a highly allocated thing. Total Wine calls me up like every other month with a bottle of Blantons. This has become a staple for me. Summertime, I'm pouring this. In fact, I give away more Blantons than I get coming in. This is something that I've been blessed to acquire. Right now, I've got about 5 of these bottles on hand. And so if you're a good friend of mine, I'm always gonna send you a bottle of Blantons. This is something, looking at the notes, you got this honey, you got some good rye, it's smooth. This is just absolutely perfect. It does everything that you want it to do. If If you want to have a good bourbon to sip on, wintertime, summertime, springtime, fall time, all the time, Blantons is good. And I'll always have at least one bottle on my shelf. And the last whiskey that I'll always have on my shelf, we gotta go with a Scotch. I love bourbon, love rye, but I gotta always have me a good Scotch. And when I thought about that, I gotta go with this Bruichladdich Classic Laddie. This is Scotch, it's not peated. In fact, it's just so pleasant. Sometimes I just wanna have a Scotch to go with my cigar. For some reason, when it's cold, I want some Scotch. And so this, lots of citrus notes. And so a lot of grapefruit notes in this, lots of vanilla. This is a flavor bomb, and it's also at a really good proof. And so a lot of times Scotch is at about 40 ABV. This is 50 ABV. Scotch, no peat, some citrus, some vanilla. This will always be on my bar. We hope that you've enjoyed this video. Join this community, hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment, engage with this video so that this community can grow and we can have platforms and spaces to talk about our whiskeys, our cigars, and even talk about money. Join this community, but most importantly, rise and grind.